Hello everybody. If you want all the stories content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 950, The Great Saturday Disaster. Upper Intermediate. It was Saturday morning and the Patel family had a plan. A perfect, simple plan. "Let's go to the coast," said Mum, looking at the bright blue sky outside the kitchen window. "The forecast is excellent and we all need some fresh air." Dad, who was trying to fix the toaster again, looked up. What a fantastic idea! Ben, who was 16 and usually spent Saturdays in his room playing games, actually agreed. "Yeah, why not? I could do with the break." And the little Maya, who was 9 and full of energy, shouted, "Beach! Beach! Beach!" She was already running to get her bucket and spade. They packed the car together. Mum made a cool box with cheese sandwiches, chicken wraps, sliced apples, carrots and a large bottle of cold lemonade. She also packed sun cream, sunglasses and a big beach blanket. Dad checked the tyres and the petrol and put the old windbreak in the boot. Maya packed her bucket, her spade, her goggles and 3 different hats. Ben brought a football and a portable speaker. "Ready, Team Patel?" asked Mum. "Ready!" everyone shouted. The drive to Lyme Regis took about 1 hour. They took the A35, which was busy but moving. They sang songs on the way. Mum put on an old playlist and everyone knew the words. Ben pretended he hated singing, but he was smiling and singing loudly in the back seat next to Maya. When they arrived, Lyme Regis was beautiful. The sun was shining, the sea was bright blue and sparkling, and the beach was busy but not too crowded. Small boats were bobbing in the harbour, and the smell of fish and chips was in the air. "First, let's find a good spot," said Mum, carrying the blanket like a flag. They found a perfect space near the large grey rocks, a little away from the main crowd. They put down their blankets and took off their shoes. The sand was warm. Dad immediately tried to set up the old windbreak. It was a difficult job. The windbreak was at least 10 years old and the poles were bent. He pushed one side in and the other side fell over. He pushed the other side in and the first side fell over again. "The wind has other ideas," said Mum, laughing. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind caught the whole thing. It blew away, tumbled across the sand like a strange animal, and landed right on top of a man's picnic. Sandwiches went flying. I'm so sorry, Dad shouted, running after it as fast as he could. His face was bright red. The man, who was sitting with his wife, just started to laugh. He helped Dad pick it up and even helped him push the poles into the sand properly this time. "There you go, mate. Teamwork," said the man. Everyone on the beach was watching and smiling. Maya decided it was time to swim. She ran straight into the sea in her new blue swimsuit. "The water is freezing. It's absolutely freezing," she screamed. But she stayed in, jumping over the small waves and splashing Ben. "Come in, Ben, you are scared," she shouted. Ben could not resist the challenge. He ran in and the cold water hit him. "Wow, you are right, it is freezing," he shouted, but then he started to splash her back. They stayed in the water for 20 minutes, laughing and shivering. Later, Mum said, "I think we need ice creams, big ones." They walked to a little ice cream shop on the seafront. They bought 4 huge ice creams with chocolate flakes and strawberry sauce. Maya's melted in seconds in the hot sun and covered her hands and chin with sticky pink and white ice cream. "This is a disaster," she giggled, trying to lick it before it dripped on her swimsuit. "This is what the beach is for," said Mum, giving her a tissue. Then Dad had his big idea for the afternoon. "Let's hire a pedalo. We can explore the bay and get a view of the town from the sea." The pedalo was bright yellow and looked a bit tired, but it was perfect. They all put on life jackets. Dad and Ben sat at the front to pedal. Mum and Maya sat at the back. Mum tried to take photos with her phone, but the boat was rocking so much that all the pictures were blurry. One photo was just of Dad's ear. The bay was lovely and calm. Then suddenly a small breeze came and Ben's favourite baseball hat flew right off his head into the sea. It floated for a second. "My hat! My favourite hat!" he cried, reaching out. Mum took control like a real captain. "Don't worry, we'll save it. Pedal left. No, right. More." Dad pedalled hard and they turned in a big wobbly circle. After a wild chase, Dad managed to lean over and fish the wet, soggy hat out of the water with Maya's little plastic spade. They all cheered loudly and a man on another pedalo clapped. On the way back to the beach, something amazing happened. About 10 meters away, a dark head popped out of the water. It looked at them with big eyes. "A seal! A real seal!" shouted Maya. It was a seal just watching them for a moment before it disappeared under the water again. "Did you see that? Did you see that?" said Ben. Even he was amazed. By 4 o'clock they were all tired, sandy and a little sunburnt on their noses. They packed up slowly and walked to a cafe on the front for early fish and chips. The chips were hot, salty and perfect. On the drive home, the car was quiet. Maya fell asleep in the back seat with her sandy bucket still in her lap and ice cream still on her chin. Ben was wearing his damp, salty hat and he was smiling in his sleep. Mum turned around from the front seat and whispered, "So, was that fun?" "Completely," said Dad quietly, looking in the mirror at his sleeping children. "Our best disaster ever." And Mum agreed. It was not a perfect day. The windbreak crashed. The water was freezing, the ice cream melted, and the hat almost got lost forever. But it was messy, funny, and full of surprises. It was exactly what a wonderful family day should be, and they would talk about the great Saturday disaster for months. If you learned a new word today, please make sure to subscribe so you can practice again next time. Vocabulary notes. Windbreak, meaning a low screen made of cloth or plastic that you put on a beach to protect you from the wind. Example, Dad immediately tried to set up the old windbreak. Similar words, wind barrier, shelter, screen. Example sentence, they sat behind the windbreak and ate their sandwiches. Sparkling, adjective, meaning shining brightly with small flashes of light, often because of the sun on water. Example, the sea was bright blue and sparkling. Similar words, glittering, shimmering, gleaming. Example sentence, the lake was sparkling in the morning sun. Freezing, adjective, meaning extremely cold, much stronger than just cold, it feels like ice. Example, the water is freezing. It is absolutely freezing. Similar words, icy, bitterly cold, chilly. Chilly is less strong. Example sentence, don't go swimming. The water in the pool is freezing. Soggy, adjective, meaning very wet and soft in an unpleasant way, holding too much water. Example, Dad managed to lean over and fish the wet, soggy hat out of the water. Similar words, damp, soaked, drenched. Damp is less wet, drenched is more wet. Example sentence, my socks got soggy because I stepped in a puddle. Wobbly, adjective, meaning not steady, moving from side to side, likely to fall over. Example, they turned in a big wobbly circle. Similar words, unsteady, shaky, unstable. Example sentence, the old table is wobbly, so be careful with your drink. Story and image generated by Meta. Animation generated by ClipBee. To read, listen, see all the stories' content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.